Hey man, welcome to the Live Vibes, man. We are here with the new day, the new scenery. You guys see it on Sunday. It's Monday, so Monday. LiveVibezPodcast. I'm good on this end already.
Yep.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna start it off with hey, welcome to Live Vibes Podcast, man. Every Monday and Friday around 9 p.m. somewhere around there. Y'all know we come through.
You fuck me up every time you say that.
Yeah, man.
Around 9.
Yeah, I'll say 9 when we on at 9. If we anything past 9, I'm gonna throw that around in there so they can understand. You know, it's always technical difficulties with us, but as y'all can see, we got 4 boxes, meaning we got a guest. So let's go ahead and start introducing ourselves. James, bring us in.
Man, y'all already know what it is. It's James, a.k.a. Hater Herder, a.k.a. Mr. Flatliner. What's up with it?
Y'all already know who it is. It's D'Angelo, a.k.a. Rated. We have a special guest. Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Amaya Desire, self-published author of Midnight Confessions.
Hey, I like that. And last but not least, we have.
Oh, yes, last but not least. Everybody's favorite. Everybody's motherfucking favorite. And if you don't know my motherfucking name, he's going to tell you what it is. Come on, bring me in.
It's the king, bitch.
At your motherfucking service. What's going on?
Oh, man. I see everybody's logging in here. I see Miss Niece Leak in here. I see Karen in the building as always. Latasha as always. CC in the building. Kara's in the building. Everybody's coming in. So I like that. We got the energy flowing nice and early. Let's check the vibes, man. Y'all already know how we start this off. We got to check the mental health of our brothers and sisters and make sure we good. How's everybody doing? How was everybody's week leading up to this great Juneteenth?
Mine was cool, man. You know, the motherfucking asshole at my job that was giving me a big old pain in my ass.
Yeah.
Today was her last. Today was her last day, so of course, you know.
Did she come and like, since it was her last day, did she say like, James, give me the D?
No. She wouldn't dare do that. She know I can't stand her. But
did she get fired? Did she leave? Like, how did that work out?
No, she left. She left.
She couldn't.
She left because she wasn't getting the D that she wanted from the people she was trying to. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh man, well that's good news for you. Ain't gotta deal with that headache no more. My week was cool. Just got a lot of work done. Spent a lot of time with my son this week. He decided to stick around and just act the fool with me all week, which I've been enjoying. And
is he taller than you yet?
Nah, he getting there though. He's getting there, and he wants to be taller. He wants to grow up fast. He just turned 13 like a few months ago. So he just, I'm telling him like, just chill and be 13, my guy. Like your age, you'll be able to be 14, 15. Like enjoy every year you can. But you know these kids, man, they want to grow up so goddamn fast. If you shit,
you want bills now?
They never understand until they get up here, and then they like, shit, I rushed it.
They not hip. They not hip.
I'm
trying to keep my babies as long as they can be babies, man. But other than that, man, just enjoying time with him, man. But other than that, just work, the grind and shit like that. How about you, Desire? How was your week?
My week was, it was a week.
One of those.
That's all I got for you. Mercury is in retrograde and a whole lot of other stuff is happening. So, but I'm blessed, you know what I'm saying? Grateful to still be working during this time. And it's really just trying to figure out how to impact the Black community with all that's happening. So, but it was a week, but I'm still glad I made it through the week.
That's good. King, how was your week, man?
Man,
look, Joe.
No. It ain't gonna be a look, Joe. Like, look, man. look, man. Look, man.
You getting
No, it was interesting. You know, like how I always, well, not how I always say, well, one of my favorite quotes. It's not the problem. That's the problem. It's how you deal with the problems. I've been faced with a lot of different problems. People try to take me out my character. Shit that would just usually just piss you off. And I'm just sitting there like, hey, look, fuck it. I'm just going to deal with it. I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to deal with that. All right, you're negative. You know what? I'm going to try to put a smile on your face. Oh, it didn't work. Fuck it. I can't help you. Some people just need to vent too. I just let them vent, didn't absorb their negative energy, but of course they need somebody to talk to. So I'm like, okay, did that. Had a fucking flat tire this morning. I could have fucking went ballistic, but you know, had a nail about this motherfucking long in my goddamn tire.
God damn.
You know, just handle it, you know, just dealt with it. Little simple things that will piss you off.
Could have tipped you over. You stayed
like,
flat.
Nah, it's not the problem. That's the problem. Is how you handle it. So I'm like, then I don't know if you seen the fucking went to the ATM deposit money. It fucking ate my $50 bill. Like literally try to spit it back out. You know how you stick it in? Like you got the money, you stick it in like this. You had to put it in like this, and they tried to spit it back out, and it got jammed in all the goddamn little things.
Oh,
yeah, you said that on Friday, and you had to call the bank and all that.
Yeah, so it's like I was about to go
Monday
crazy, but they this shit.
You got you right. Thank goodness.
So this little shit, like just like you know what? I'm cool, calm, collective. You know, still planning what I need to do, still trying to work out, just trying to stay focused, not let anything swipe me off. But that's the end of my little rant.
Speaking of bank shit, I'm gonna give this little quick story, y'all. Bank. So I went to my I did this shit from my phone. So I paid off my credit card bill, right? So so my credit card bill says 0, but my savings say 0, right? So I tried to take this couple little dollars I had in my account and put some in my savings account. But when you do it, it tells you which account you want to put it in. I was so used to seeing numbers that I owed on my credit that when I saw the first zeros, I just hit that one. I said, yeah, I'm going to put it in that one. Whole time I overpaid on my credit card. So now there's an extra $250 that I have in credit on top of the thousands or whatever I have in credit. So I'm like, get the fuck out of here, right? So I had to go to the bank and try to get this resolved. They can't do something. Call this number on the back of your car, blah, 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 all this bullshit. So they said I could switch it. So he said, go talk to the other guy. I went to the other guy. This big security guard motherfucker stands in front of this dude like he was protecting him or something. And was like, what you want? I was like, they told me to come talk to this man right here. Well, what do you need? And I'm just like, first off, you know how the security guard be in front of the bank? Like the one guy that stands there? It was that guy. So it's like, are you patrolling the bank or this nigga? I don't understand. So he was like, yeah, he can't help you. You should just call the back of the car and blah, blah, blah. And I was just pissed off. So I was like, fuck it. I went in my car. So let me just get this bullshit out of the way. But it turns out that was actually the best move to make. I just didn't like his approach with the shit. You know what I'm saying? But I got everything handled. But I felt dumb as shit when I did it because I was so mad because I needed that money in my savings. Well, I wanted it in my savings. And it was just a little bullshit with it. But everything's straight.
See how my checking and savings work? How my checking and savings work?
Yo, but that shit landed in a couple hours. So they say, "Oh, give it 2 to something days." Man, that shit was there like about 4 or 5 hours. I was sure. But yeah, let's fast forward into the most important part of this. Black Lives Matter. It is Juneteenth. If you didn't know, now you know. I'm pretty sure you have. If you breathe air and you can walk on earth, you know it's Juneteenth. It's a big deal. A lot has been happening as far as
Ali, you need to hop on.
Pretty special.
Kim Folk, you coming up or what? What's up with it, man?
What you got? Somebody in the comments? Somebody trying to get in?
Now remember I told you I want Ali for that one topic that we want.
Oh yeah. He in the building?
Yeah, he watching.
I got
hop his ass on.
All right, we gonna get there. I'm gonna try to get through these real quick. Y'all know Trump said that he made up Juneteenth and discovered Juneteenth and made Juneteenth famous, and we didn't know shit about it, so he said something about it, and now he's making it a holiday, and we should thank him for it.
Fuck Trump. I thought it was Trump and all of his shit.
I thought it was a fucking joke, but it wasn't. He really said that shit, and he meant it, and that was crazy because he always taking credit for shit, and it's ridiculous.
You know what? And it's not even for us that he's talking to. He's talking to those who don't know shit.
Yeah. And they'll believe his ass too.
Because like some of my coworkers was asking me like, what's Juneteenth? The one of them knew, because he like black women, but the other was like what the hell is that? Shit, they didn't even know what fuck 12 meant.
Oh shit, that's funny too.
Fucking hilarious, but
yeah. Let's see. All right, so that's going on with that. I'm gonna give a shout out to Versus real quick. Versus going on tonight. It actually started at 8:00. We have John Legend going against Alicia Keys. That is different. I think it's the first time that they did a male and female, and I think she might be the first female on that joint. But either way, that's something for the culture. So I definitely want to throw that out there.
Didn't they as in Jill Scott and Erykah Badu?
Yeah, I'm about to say, didn't they do that?
No, they did girl versus girl, but they never did girl versus guy. They felt like that wouldn't be fair. If a guy lost to a girl, how would he feel? Like, it was a lot of little issues with them having one versus the other. So the two girls was fine, two guys was fine, but it's the first time they did male versus female. And yeah, Alicia Keys versus John Legend tonight.
John Legend though, it's like,
yeah, even though Alicia Keys got joints, I think John Legend's gonna smoke her.
Oh,
but I also think they're playing shit live on their piano.
They got two pianos and shit back to back. The shit fire. I was watching it before we got on. So it's pretty cool.
That's why I think she might get him a little bit, because she is.
Oh no, she gonna smoke him on them keys. I give her that.
Yeah, she that on them keys.
Yeah. What else has been going on? The situation with Breonna Taylor, the one that lost her life a few months ago. One of those cops have been fired since, they was upset about, it's been 3 months. None of the police involved in her killing has been charged or anything. One has gotten fired. It's not the best move, but it's something. So I guess they're moving in the right direction in that. That's a good thing. Aunt Jemima. I'm not sure if y'all heard about Aunt Jemima's situation. Excuse me, but they about to take her off the box because she's a representation of racial profiling, which is very true. People are also calling for Uncle Ben and the Cream of Wheat man. I forgot his name. His name like Franklin something, and Frank White or some shit like that. And they want them to be moved too, which is crazy. But I do understand why it's happening. And we'll see what happens. I don't know if they're going to put a new face, if they're just going to use a different name. I don't know how they're going to rebrand that, but that's going to be something to pay attention to. A lot of places have been like boycotting people wearing Black Lives Matter stuff. And the thing that upsets me about that is that I feel like it's a big miscommunication in this situation, because it comes off as if these companies don't support Black Lives Matter and things like that, when whole time it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the companies allowing their employees doing work hours to show any support for any type of organization outside of the company. So even if you came in there with a fucking Make America Great Again hat, they're gonna say you take your ass home. So it's not just like, it's only Black Lives Matter. It's like anything that's supporting something that the company hasn't signed on to, you can't wear that there, because it's going to be like a representation of what the company, agrees with or don't agree with. So instead of making all that riffraff, they just don't want nobody to wear shit. And that's been happening with a lot of companies, but I think it's starting to look bad, like everybody's against the movement, when really it's just like, no, we don't want our employees to wear anything that's showing something for something or whatever. And it's just too many semantics with it. But we'll see how a lot of that stuff comes unfold. What else I want to talk about before I get off of this? Snapchat, did y'all hear about that shit? Snapchat had a filter today, and I think it was a missed shot. I think they shot from half court and bricked the fuck out of it, but at least they attempted to do something that was okay, but it didn't work out too well. So they had a filter to where it was supporting the Juneteenth movement or whatever, the holiday. And
snatch that shit.
If you smile, there's chains that'll pop up behind you and break. It's like to break the chains and shit like that. And I get it. I get where they were. I get it. But
are you serious?
They didn't like it at all. So somebody had a big misstep on that.
Ain't no
I think
black
that was
people over at Snapchat. They don't got black people like hired at Snapchat. Nobody said that was not okay.
they thought it was a good thing. They're like, yo, people are show your smile and support of breaking the chains of, you know, not. It just didn't look right. It didn't look right at all, especially when you just see a black person and then you see the chains and it looked wild. they took that shit down now and apologized and all that shit. They tried to do something nice and it didn't hit real at all. Other than that, I think that's it that I wanted to cover on the updates with everything with Black Lives Matter, and I definitely want to get into this big major topic. I'm gonna let y'all have the floor because I've been talking like crazy, but
all I'm gonna say is it's a lot of people changing shit. There's a lot of companies changing shit. There's a lot of people making a big deal out of all of this Black Lives Matter shit. But they're acting like black people was just invented a few months ago. Like,
yeah, all these changes that's happening.
Yeah, like we've been here all this time. And now y'all act like, oh, we just been invented. This shit is not new. Ain't no need to take an Aunt your mama off there now. Y'all done had her on there all these motherfucking years.
Yeah.
Don't start with that little shit. You know, I mean, yeah, that's a step in the right direction, but I feel like, no, give us some shit that's gonna make a big change. Like when you take Aunt your mama off that goddamn box for them pancakes, that ain't gonna make nobody happy.
Yeah, see, I feel like that's a small step, the same way it is like when they're removing the Confederate flags, removing the statues. I feel like this is one of those things the company's looking at like, yo, like this is definitely a bad racial representation of a stigma between black people, and we need to get this off of our branding and change it up. That's how they're going to show their support. I get exactly what you're saying, but
if he wouldn't have never died, and we would not be rioting and protesting, Uncle Ben would still be on that motherfucking box. The Quaker man would still be on that box.
Yeah.
And your mama would still be on that fucking box. But you want to do something that's going to make us proud, do what y'all said y'all was going to do a year or two ago and put Harriet Tubman on the fucking $20 bill. Do something that's going to last forever. We always using money. We see money every day. Put her on there. That way we'll see a difference or something of a Black Life Matter in action.
You speaking of the $20 bill, did y'all see that bullshit floating around with the white man being hung on the back of the 20 with the
no, the black man being hung on the 20.
Yeah. The black man being hung on the 20 and it's a bunch of white people looking at it. It's supposed to be it's just a light fixture that's under the
White House.
Yeah, but I saw what they was pointing out, but I wasn't rolling with that. I don't know. It could be, it can't be. I just think it's a light fixture. It may look like something, but I don't think that was what it is. But we got bigger fish to fry. Them 20s been 20s for a long time. But let me, God damn. All right, y'all. Here's the big main topic for the day, man. Do black women feel protected and supported by black men? And I've seen a lot of different cases where things have been happening. 2 videos have been, swirling its way around the internet, and I think it sparked this conversation. The first video, if y'all haven't seen it, there's a video where they're throwing a young lady in the trash can. It's fucked up that it's been on this side too. They took her throwing the trash can. It was funny as a joke, X, Y, and Z, and it just comes off really, really in bad taste. I didn't like the video when I seen it, but I feel like I knew what it was when I saw it. So that got the conversation going where black women feel as though black men are not for them, not supporting them, and not protecting them. And there's also another video of some guy, I think, hitting a girl with a skateboard or some shit.
Cracked the shit out of her ass with that skateboard.
And I don't even see the message.
Like, I almost didn't even know it was a female until I looked and read the comments. Oh, that was a girl.
Yeah, it's like how she was
crack
dressed.
somebody
It was a guy
with a fucking skateboard. I was like, oh shit, damn.
See, and that's the thing. Like, my issue was that the different captions that were attached to that video was saying different things. One was like, "Don't come around here with that bullshit." One was like, he tried to. get her number, and she said no.
And she denied them.
Yeah, that's what it is. So I got a bunch of different little things with it. So I was just like, all right. So we made this a topic. Let's go straight to the black woman that we have present today.
One, I gotta add something on to that though. Those are the two videos you saw, but there's another video of another dude whooping up on this woman and throwing her in a fucking ice cream freezer in the bodega up in New York.
Oh shit!
Throwing an ice cream freezer.
The little freezers you slide the door open and reach in and get a popsicle or something. He's literally throwing the fucking woman in there, and then it's other people that's recording and talking about some, well, just get in the freezer then. Like, she's trying to fight it not to get in the freezer, and he's throwing her ass in that freezer, and they think it's okay to just say, well, just get in the freezer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna save my input. I'm gonna let our guests come in and chime in. Being the black queen on the channel right now, do you feel that you are protected and supported by black men?
My black family, yes, right. So I had this conversation earlier in regards to whether or not I felt protected by black men, and I had to say that as a whole, I do not, right? And even down to like having the slightest conversation with people who, with black men who freely use the word like bitch, right? Like, oh, you know, that bitch, you know, they hit that bitch with the skateboard, right? So like, how can you be upset at the video while still using the word bitch as if it's not offensive to some? Because it's not offensive to all women, right? So let me make that clear. But when we're talking about protecting black women in the same breath, you're like, well, that bitch got hit with a skateboard, that bitch got thrown in the freezer. It's almost contradicting to the point that you're trying to make, and not making me comfortable to say that you would protect me, and maybe you would, right? But the idea that you would use the word to describe me in such a horrifying and terrifying situation, it just doesn't make sense. I posted earlier this week, me and a friend of mine, we posted on Facebook, you know, to share stories about the things that women have experienced when telling a man no. Like, of course, you've been called a bitch, you've been called, you know, you've been like, man, fuck you, that's why you ugly, this and that anyway. And then, you know, one woman had a dog sick on her, another one had a glass bottle thrown at her, you know what I mean? And these are reasons why, as a woman, I give out a fake number. Right? Like, it's legit a fake number, but if you dial it, it will ring to my phone, because I've had men do that to me, right? Like, let me get your number, and I'm saying no, but then I'm like, fuck it, and I give them this number that just, it rings, but as soon as I leave, I get to block them, right? Yeah. So the idea that we have to do that is just to simply make it a way with our life, because saying no apparently makes you feel like somehow you're less than, or your ego is blown. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to us. So there's so many different things that black women deal with, you know, support-wise, being loved, being protected, being respected. It's almost like a snowball of shit that's occurred for us in the last couple of years. Black women are one of the top, right? We're like one of the top who are missing, like black women. If you ever really like looked it up and Googled it, there's so many black women missing, right? Missing that nobody's looking for, nobody's even heard of, nobody cares to even know that, like, just shit like that makes you think, like, who's really looking out for you? So for me, my personal immediate family, people that rock with me hard, do I feel protected by them? Absolutely. But if I'm in the street and a dude is hollering at me and I'm very uncomfortable and I'm looking at somebody to help me, I'm not sure if that help is gonna come.
I feel you on that 100%. I actually, of course, I'm not a woman, so I don't understand what you go through and what women go through in these situations, but I do understand being from these type of conditions where you see, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of just niggas out there being ignorant. Like, you've seen it, you know what I'm saying? You see it happen a lot. So I agree with that. Y'all, I don't feel as though that the protection is there either, honestly.
And I really think it's also about accountability, right? So, like, for example, if you see flatlining out in these streets acting stupid, you should probably pull that man to the side and be like, yo, like, bro, that's not cool. But there's a lack of accountability that almost is approving the behavior if nobody steps up to say anything, right? Because I could say it all day. I could be like, come on, Flatliner, do better. But and I'm not saying that my voice doesn't matter, but I'm saying that he might take it differently coming from another black man. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. See, and I think that comes different when it comes to the support side of it too. Because when we talk about support, I think it is different though. I do feel like black men do a lot better in the support side of things than the protective side of things. And with that, I feel like I feel like the shit that men think about and the shit that we have to deal with, let's look at it as like a list, right? When we're in public and we have certain things going on, our mental is just conditioned different. We're conditioned to have to look over our shoulders because they could be a beef, they could be somebody that have issues with you, it can be other niggas that's doing something that you don't want to get involved in. If this do become an altercation, what the police are going to do to you because you are a black man and a target and a threat and all these other different things. And I think a lot of things play a part in layers. And so protecting black women is not at a guy's mental forefront when he's, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're like out with your girl by yourself or some job too, of course you want to protect her. But I think on an average basis, I think men's mental, we have a whole lot that we have to kind of like read the room with. And I feel like that takes away, and it's not a shot at black women. I think it's just a part of the struggle that black men have in society, period. So it takes away from the protection side of things. But on the supportive side, I do think that there's a lot that happens there that's not talked about. I feel like there's a lot of times where women target men and men don't flip the narrative to say that women don't love and care and support us. I just seen a video the other day where this girl was chasing this dude down the street trying to stab him. I guess it was her baby father, whatever the case. She wanted some money and some shit. And he had to put on his live like, yo, I didn't touch her. I didn't put hands on her. I'm just trying to get away from her. And he's running and she's chasing him. His friends had to come pull up and he had to jump in their car for him to get away from this girl. But men are not going to write the premise of online and say, see, our black women don't love and support us. They're trying to stab us and take our money. Like, we don't flip it like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that at all. So even when
you don't see it.
No,
you don't see that happening, but it happens because the game is almost tit for tat, right? Oh, black women are saying that, like the guy who was on Remy's post is a prime example. He came on the post, he didn't read very much of shit, I'm assuming, but he came on a post where black women are saying, I don't feel protected, and then wanted to flip the script and be like, well, how can you act like you want to be protected when you ain't here judging me or you ain't here coming at me like this and that? That's not the point, right? So it really starts with a base of respect. If you respect black women, you will treat us differently. It's really just that simple. I'm not saying that all women are amazing. We know that that's not true. We know that all men ain't amazing either. But I don't go out of my way to disrespect men. You see what I'm saying? So like, it's just a whole different narrative. As men, you can't understand. So I don't expect you to a degree. But if your sister comes to you and tells you like, yo, this dude put his hands on me in a wrong kind of way, or like, prime example, you go on a date with a dude, right? At the end of the night, he walks you to the door and he tries to like grope you, right? If he tries to grope me at the end of the night, whether I went on a date with him or not, if it was unwanted, then he's almost sexually assaulting me. He's physically trying to attack me. The question should not then be like, well, what did you have on? What signal did you give off? You know what I'm saying? Like, all these things play back into blaming the woman, where it should be just a conversation of responsibility. You are responsible for the choices and the actions that you take. Somebody saying no to you is their prerogative. Everybody has heard no. Last time I checked, you ain't never died from somebody telling you no. You never got impaled, right? So the idea that somehow saying no is now threatening our lives it almost makes it seem as though the base of respect doesn't exist when it comes to Black women and Black men.
I get that. But see, another thing on another side of that, real quick, and I want to give somebody else some time to talk too, but there are a lot of cases to where some things don't fully happen that way. It could be a situation to where a girl can lie and say, yo, this dude touched me, this dude did something. He didn't do anything at all. But she noticed she got some guys that's going to help her out. She going to go to some dude that she know or her friends like, yo, he did this to me. That is protection. You know these niggas going to fuck them up. Same thing when it comes to your daughters. You're going to protect them. You're going to say, yo, don't do this with my daughter. When you invite a boy over, they show their dominance. They pick their brain. They show them a gun and say, yo, don't you fuck around with my daughter or I'm going to come for you. Like, there's a lot of different ways that women are protected. But I just feel like there's a lot of cases to where shit can go left in cases like that too, to where women can lie and say that they did this to me and they did that to me and they didn't. Just like the dude, when I was talking about the video, he only shared it because he's like, yo, I want y'all to see that I didn't put hands on her. Because women do that a lot. He hit me, he touched me, he hit me, put hands on me. And that could be a lie. And that can get him fucked up or locked up or whatever the case may be. So it's just too much, there's too much mess involved with shit like that. The same way I feel like men shouldn't have to go out their way to disrespect women, it's also a premise to where men shouldn't even have to record a woman to prove that he's not lying, that he didn't touch her to protect himself from women. So it's just, it's a lot of ugliness going on with stuff like that. And it honestly needs to stop. And that's on both ends, honestly. Flatliner King, if one of y'all want to jump in, because
I only want to touch on what she said when she said if he groped her and the dudes, I agree with her 100% that if she was to come to me and say, hey, this dude did this, no, my response should not be, what did you have on? But at the end of the night, you also got to keep in mind how people view you. The perception he gets is what he sees. No, just because you could have went on this date ass naked. That does not mean he gets to touch. That does not mean he gets to fuck. But you gotta also keep in mind, you gotta keep things classy, because you get classy material when you give off the classy look. Like, if you were to go on a date in some skimpy shit and then go on a date and some it's still sexy, but it's classy, you might get 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get 2 different reactions out of that same one dude. You know, if he comes to pick you up or whatever and he see you dressed a certain way, his mind can automatically go from, yeah, we're gonna have a good night, to, ooh, look what she got on, I'm gonna try to fuck her tonight. Or it can go from, oh, she looking nice, you know, this gonna be a good day. His mind is gonna stay on, oh, this gonna be a good date or whatever if he see you dress classy. But his mind can go left when so not saying that gives him any leeway to do or touch or any of that. You gotta kind of hold up when you're in some way, somehow. That's the only thing I see on that part.
You want me to rebuttal that?
If you would like to.
So, well, first of all, I want to know what the comments are saying, because I know that there's some women that got comments that, you know, but I'm going to say this.
For 1 second. I don't know about y'all, but like my Facebook is slow as fuck.
Mine too.
Okay, so it's not just me. I mean, like, these people are still talking about people getting hit with the skateboard. So it's like, I'm like, damn, do I get out of this?
The lag time behind the joint is way behind. So they're not going to be, the comments ain't going to be what we're discussing right now. I've already looked. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I refreshed mine twice just now, and it's still, yeah, it's a little crazy, but.
Okay. I have worn, right, what would be considered less classy, right? And I have worn been on a train going to work at 7 a.m. in the morning, and I can still get sat next to and talked to like I was wearing something that was less classy. The point of the matter is, keep your hands to yourself. Keep your fucking comments to yourself. I don't owe you shit. I'm not your property, right? I don't belong to you, date or not, girlfriend or not, wife or not. Women get raped in marriages, okay? So the idea that we go about this in a way where it's like, what are you trying to have a conversation about? Do you want me to tell you how Black women feel? Or do you want me to tell you how Black women feel, then so you can tell me how Black men feel about it? You see what I'm saying? The conversation that we've had multiple times, that I've had multiple times with men, has been a conversation where it's switched, right? So I'm telling you how I feel as a woman, and then we're having a discussion about how a woman who's obviously off her rockers, crazy, unstable, I'm just gonna leave it there, right? Is chasing a man down a block, getting, because he's trying to run away from against that. We know that people are crazy. I'm not negating that. There are bad people, not even bad people. There are people who make bad choices and people who make good choices, right? And you lead to different places. My dad taught me not to put my hands on nobody, but my dad also taught my brother to respect women, and that if a woman does put her hands on you, you need to restrain her with the least amount of force that looks like you protecting yourself, which means you holding hands or something like that. I don't want it to be a conversation about how men feel crazy women do X, Y, and Z. The conversation is, as me, a Black woman, to you Black men on this podcast, is saying, if you see something, right, say something. Maybe you don't want to intervene. I'm not saying that you have to, right? Because some shit has gone south. We know that. But you can always pick up the phone and you can call 911. You could be a decent human being, not like them stupid little boys who were recording the woman getting slapped with the motherfucking skateboard. Do you understand what I'm saying? If we teach our children respect, if we teach them boundaries, and we understand that as a boy, you should never put your hand on a woman unless it's absolutely necessary. And it should never be absolutely necessary, because most men are usually stronger and or bigger than women in a sense to restrain me without you having to physically assault me or something of the matter, right? We're saying that as a whole, for the good women, and I'm speaking as a great Black woman, right, who I don't put my hands on men. I'm not out here acting crazy. You see what I'm saying? If I'm in the streets and I'm getting hit on by a guy who obviously I'm not attracted to, who obviously I'm scared of, step up. And it's okay if it's not you personally. It's okay if you go down and call the cops and whatever the case is. But the point is, protect in some form or fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not asking you to be heroes. I'm not asking you to be a hero. But I'm saying, to some degree, show up and act like I'm somebody's daughter or somebody's sister. I know that it could fuck with you, right? Like, think about the idea that you see me on U Street and you know visibly what I look like, and I'm getting assaulted, and the next morning you see my picture on the news because this man that murdered me. Now, how would you feel knowing that you did absolutely nothing? I'm not talking about the crazy chick who's running behind this dude about to stab him. I'm talking about a woman who's walking home after getting off of the bus from work. I'm talking about the woman who was walking down the block with her kid and took the shortcut and got beat up on the way with the kid in her arm. I'm talking about just regular day-to-day people. I'm talking about the women who are saying, we would love to feel protected and loved by you, point blank, period. Not the 10%, right? The 90% of us who are out here working jobs, out here taking care of our kids, out here making shit happen, and then we run into a situation that puts us in a bad space, and we're saying, hey, I can't defend myself. Will you defend me? Point blank, period. Everything else is null and fucking void. Like, that's it. We can't have the roundabout conversation, because that's not what the conversation is about. The conversation is, if I feel like I'm not being protected and I come to flatline and I say, listen, I feel like this dude assaulted me. I feel like he tried to, like, push up on me. I felt scared, this, and the third. The conversation should be, how can I help you? How can I protect you? How can I love you? That's it. I'm not saying that there aren't women out here who ain't doing shit, because we know that there are. But let me tell you something. I ride for my folks. Like, hands down, all the time, I ride for my folks. So I expect that when I ride for my folks, that my folks ride for me. And even if you are a stranger, and I may not want to put myself in a situation to physically help you, I can still pick up a phone call or pick up the phone and make a call. You know what I'm saying? Like, point blank, I love my brother and my dad, and I know that those two men will protect me, but it will also feel great to know that if I call Flatliner up, he will also protect me, even though I'm not his blood. That's it. I think that's all Black women are asking for. And again, we can talk about the 10% that ain't doing shit, but we're not talking about them right now. We're talking about the women who out here holding it down for y'all, who been in these streets, Black protesting, fist up in the air, talking about my husband is Black, my son is Black, my niece, my nephew, whatever is Black, and we out here protecting and riding for y'all. We want y'all to ride the same way for us. That's it.
I agree with that. I definitely do. That's why the first thing I said earlier is that I know, right? That's why the first thing that I said earlier is that I agree with you, that I feel that women aren't protected as they should be from Black men. Because I definitely agree. It's just the way society is playing it out right now, and I feel like the way things happen, I feel like we've always been conditioned to do three things. The first thing is to mind your fucking business. The second thing now is to film that shit, because everybody got phones and everybody's either feeling like filming it is helping or filming it is being nosy on some goofy shit. And then third will be actually stepping in and doing something. And it really shouldn't be that way, period. It should definitely be flipped around in different ways to where people feel, like you said, safe and more protected than feel like you don't have anybody. Because there's plenty of times where you can see some guys over there fighting or something like that, and you just be like, okay, they over there tripping, and you mind your business. But that guy could be getting his ass up for the wrong reason and could need help. You know what I'm saying? Same thing when it comes to all these different situations. I feel like people just don't know when or how to put their foot down and do something about something when they should.
Oh my
especially
God.
If you feel like you could.
King, what you got to say? You, oh my God, this shit. What's up, baby?
No, I was looking at somebody's comment, it just pissed me off. But no, I could continue.
Oh.
I got a lot of shit to say.
Yeah, no, you good. I was just
the floor is yours, man.
Yeah. Because the comments was late for me, so yeah.
All right, Joe.
All right,
There
Joe,
it is.
look.
There it is.
Look, Joe.
Man, so much been said, so much is going on now. Me as a Black man, look, I'm not taking nothing away from you and any of you Black sisters, because what y'all go through is technically what y'all go through. Like, what us men go through is basically our point of view, what we see. What y'all go through is what y'all see, what y'all go through. Now, we both hear stories from here to there of what's been happening over here, what's been happening over there, what we go through. We all hear a lot of good stuff. I will point out, not a lot of the good things in our community is being shined upon. Mostly all the negative shit is being brought out, and which is a bad thing, because the more I say our youth or young people see negative shit, they tend to emulate it. Now, where can I go with this? Now, she made a comment about, if somebody had wronged her, could she call a Flatliner? Now, I would say, as a woman, I know it's probably hard to actually see who can you actually call, like who's actually going to be for you whatsoever, and that's a mystery. It really shouldn't be that hard, but actually, it's almost like life. Like, I'm going to put it like this: she made a comment like men calling females bitches. Look, I always look at it like this: you got men, you got women, you got niggas, you got bitches. You need to learn who the fuck is who. So you got men over here, bitches over here, niggas over there, men, whatever. So you need to know what man is that man. What these niggas over here niggas, these bitches over here bitches, and these women over here women. I see your face, but if you don't understand what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, as much as y'all don't like to be called bitches, you think a lot of us like to be called niggas, and we probably not that. to me, that coincides with each other. A nigga and a bitch, almost the same thing. And y'all, some females, not all, quick to say that nigga this and that nigga and that. Like, but there's, to me, I think it's a difference. This is just, to me, a difference between the two. Like, I could say there's plenty of times where, like, how you say, like, not family, not nobody I'm sleeping with, nobody, nothing. I've gotten calls, and I had to answer the call as a black man to help somebody. Even D, I think me and Dewan told you the story, how many times we had to drive up to save somebody out of an apartment. Why? Because she was around a whole rack of ignorant ass motherfucking dudes. They shouldn't have been around us, scared as hell. So hit me, knowing I'm around the corner, I'm in the area, had to call, do a rescue mission. We pulled up, saved them, and got them where the hell they need to be. Like I'm saying, a lot of that don't get shown or promoted a lot. Not saying they needed to, but you always going to hit a negative before you hit a positive. And then, like I said, you need to know who can you really call that's actually going to look out for you and not expect anything else out of it. What else is being said? And then me personally, I hate this goddamn underground war between men and women. Like a female in the comments said, like, I feel like men hate women and they're just dogging us and this and that. I could tell you up and down my feed, I see the same shit about females just hating men and all this, but it's like, like I said, it's perception of what you see in your world and what's going on. Not saying that anybody's wrong, because that's what you see and that's what you're experiencing. It's like, shit, oh my God. Like, I think we all need to do better. As a whole, we all need to do better, men and women alike, for any of us to actually see something. And go ahead, what you gotta say? Because I could probably think of some more shit after that.
I step up. I can honestly say, if I see some shit, if I see some shit that's going on that I know ain't supposed to be going on, I will step up. And sometimes these days you gotta be prepared for anything. When you step up, you have to basically almost be prepared to fight, shoot, or whatever to protect yourself, just for trying to protect someone. Prime example, the woman I'm with now, I met her by stepping up. Wasn't her, what so happens to be her niece, and a man hitting on her or whatever was going on outside of the house 11:30 at night. I step up to make sure the little girl is cool, because I look out the window and see this dude standing, hovering over top of her, and she's on the ground looking scared. My attempt, the way I came out, he was afraid, because he knew something was going to happen to him, because it was another man. Yeah, you might just sit there and beat on this woman. I didn't go out there in a harsh manner like, I'm about to fuck you up, but he can feel that shit was about to go left if he continued to do what he's doing. And I've done that plenty of times before. I've stepped up when I've seen someone in trouble. So, I mean, I don't know. If you're in my presence and if it's within my power, I will protect a black woman. And I mean, me personally, I've been raised to just what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a black woman, but that's what we're talking about. But anything that's wrong that I can help, I will help. And that's just me.
And I don't want to be or sound disrespectful. I understand the issues that, I can't really truly understand how y'all feel, but I can see and hear the issues that y'all have. I don't know why that keeps happening on my screen. And in this instance of you not feeling protected, I do believe you, not saying this is all the job for you, but you kind of have to know, like, really what male in your life can provide that protection for you. Like, this is a communication with all of us. So, like, say, like, Mr. Maya Desire, like, you, off the break, if you ever in any of the areas or around this, you hit one of us, we got your back. But this is like a communication, a networking to try to see what real men out here will do that for you.
Me and Amaya go way back. I don't know. I think I probably might have said that before, but I mean, way back.
See, y'all go way back. So off the break, you should know that from him. As in him hanging with us, we're almost the same type. We don't do that little fuck boy crazy dumb nigga shit. So it's like you have to just at least know. Feel like if you in this area, who can I call? If I'm in this area, who can I call? Just like say it's almost the same with us men. So say like if I'm in a certain area, like all right, I know like if something go down, if who can I call or who gonna look out? It's like if it's for a black woman, like all right, who can I go over a house that I know I'm gonna be cool at? Oh shit, I can call cool that because this area something's happened. I need to go over there. I know she got me, or I know he got me. It's just that's how it is. It's like you say, it's a percentage of people who just fucked up. We none of us can have control of that, men or women. And it's a percentage. This is really good, but it's just trying to figure out differentiate the fucking two.
To have the conversation in regards to what's different, we have to find the middle ground, the meeting ground, right? So if we just being honest about this situation, we can take this back to slavery, right? The whole point of ripping the man out from the household was to create this break in family, this break in dependency of solidarity, right? So you do that for 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, 400 years, and now here we are, and there's a huge ass disconnect between black men and black women. And at the end of the day, the main consensus from both sides is saying, hey, I want you to love me, right? Hey, I want you to support me. Hey, I want you to protect me. Hey, I want you to stand up for me. There's a whole break, respect me, and show up for me. That's literally what we're all saying, right? So there's no need to like point fingers. That's why I keep saying, like, I don't want to focus on the 10% because there are 10% of dudes that I definitely don't rock with, and there are 10% of women I don't rock with. But for the 90% that rides for women, the 90% that I know for a fact, I could call right now and be like, yo, I got a flat tire, or listen, like I'm stranded, or whatever the case is. Those are the people that I'm focusing on, and those are the people that should step up and should hold their other folks accountable, because when you do that, there's a shift, right? We have to be willing to make other people uncomfortable. If I see my homegirl doing some fuck girl shit, I'm gonna be like, why are you doing that? Right? And it might put a rift in our friendship, but it's worth it because maybe somebody has not told her before she a fuck girl, right? Or somebody hasn't told her how she's treating this dude is completely not cool. Because I've seen women who do some fuck girl shit be getting the nicest dudes, and my ass nice, and I'm still single. So I don't even know what to tell you at that point. But the point is, right? Like the basis of where we're meeting at is, I need you to respect me, and I need you to love me, and not just because you know me. Like, it should be like right now, I'm pretty sure if I was out in the streets, out here on Black Lives Matter Plaza, dudes would be like, oh yeah, whatever, queen, this and the third. But on any other day, it might not be the same. Keep the same energy anytime you see me, right? Like, just keep the same energy. If we just respect the people, no matter how people treat you, right? Because somebody, I remember hearing this thing from a motivational speaker. He said that somebody spit in my face. This is a very drastic example, but the point is, he said somebody spit in my face, and they thought that I was going to be mad. But I wasn't. I just wiped the spit off and I walked away, because what he was trying to tell us was that he held the power. Right? Can't nobody make you feel a certain kind of way without you actively giving your power to that person. You see what I'm saying? So if you decide, oh, come on, sis. If you decide to like really go forward and be somebody different, when you hold people accountable, when you decide to make a shift, to hold your friends, your family accountable, to give people respect, no matter the situation, you realize that you leveled up. Right? It takes a lot for somebody to get in your face and for you to be like, oh, all right. Like, okay. Because somebody could do that to me right now, but I got a whole ass government job and I'm about to buy me a house. I got shit to lose. I don't got time for that. So if you decide that you want to be different and you want to hold the people around you in your circle to a different level of accountability, that's when the shift happens. But we play too small, right? I don't want to be the girl in the hood no more. I want to be the girl making 6 figures or running her own business. You see what I'm saying? You gotta level up. If we keep staying in this regular ass mainstream thinking that this is all that we can have, then you're gonna be disrespecting other people or coming at other people outside of your skin, trying to figure out like, oh, what's going on? Nah, respect on all levels makes the playing field even, because everybody is saying the same thing. Black men want the same black love, women want to sue. Black men want to be respected, women want to sue. Black men want to be protected instead of for shit, women want it too. Like, we want it too.
That's the end of that damn topic.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, everything was well said, because I get everybody's point. I feel like everybody's speaking from different places in the same conversation. I feel like everybody has their own view and everybody has their own opinion, but we all know what the issue is. And we all know that women deserve and need to be protected more by Black men, period, point blank. That's always going to be something that we should be fighting for and fighting to change within our community, within our kids, within our friends, things like that. Me personally, like, I know, like, I have friends that used to talk crazy to women. Those are the friends that I don't have friendships with anymore. You know what I'm saying? I got friends that go out here and do, little sneaky shit here and there. I don't hang with those people. I have children who I instill respect and, don't hit, make sure you don't put your hands on a female. Make sure you respect them. Watch how you talk to them. Appreciate them, things like that. Like, you have to start within your home, and you have to start with the friends that you keep. And the friends that I know that were on that path, I'm not close to anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like a bird of a feather flock together. So you're not going to pin me with the same bullshit that these niggas be on. So I just feel like we have to find so many different ways to make that change. But I definitely agree with everybody's point, because everybody was speaking from a different place. So, but it's tough, man. It's something that has needed to be changed for a long time. And hopefully with all of us having the right mindset, that we can start where we are and continue to push it forward. Anybody else got anything to say on this topic before I move on? I have a lot here though. So, James, you want me to throw the one that you gave me last? The one that you
feel free.
Women, you can do the same thing in the comments. Our lovely guests do the same thing. When do you realize that you have a good woman or man, and what are good attributes of a good man or a good woman?
Who gonna take that first?
I can go first. I'll let y'all cook for a minute. And I say that because I actually got hit up from one of my really good friends probably like a week ago, and she asked me, like, how long does it take for a guy to realize that a girl is worth keeping and fighting for and things like that? And I had to explain to her that it wasn't time-based, it was action-based. Men usually find things inside of a woman that they see within action, or something about her character that shows you that that's somebody that you want to be with and you don't want nobody else to have her. That's usually how that goes. It's not really time-based. If you waiting for somebody to just appreciate you, it's not going to work that way. So I feel like that's how a man knows when he has a good woman, when he see her actions and parts of her character, if that matches with you and how you see things, how you view things, or something that she does within her actions that you can appreciate and that you don't get from other places, or that you feel like you're not going to get that love from somewhere else. These are key factors to show that this is a good one and this is one that I have to keep. That's usually how I can tell from a man's perspective. And a good attribute, I'm sorry I have to say this, because I always battle with the loyalty and the honesty thing. I'm gonna say when a woman's honest, I love that about a woman. This is for me personally.
It ain't got to be just one attribute. You can have more than.
I mean, 'cause I know all of us gonna give different stuff, but I mean, for me, I love honesty. I just like knowing what the fuck is what. because I pick honesty over loyalty. That's me, because I understand that loyalty comes with a price, and the loyalty comes from something. And if that something is fulfilled and no longer there, then where does your loyalty lie? So I don't put all my chips on loyalty when it comes to people, because that shit can change. I'd rather you just be 100 with me so I could know where we going. If we're going in this for the long haul, or this is going to be a short trip. So I love an honest woman. That's one of the attributes for me, and how I can tell that I got me a good woman. But yeah, I can give somebody else the floor. People say I talk too much.
How do I know when I have a good woman? I feel like you have a good woman when she gives the love, the thought, the energy that you would think you would give yourself, but it's more so like of a strong support system. When you have a woman that can support you, as long as you're going in the right direction, if she can either support you, ride with you, or uplift you, that is pretty much how I feel. You have a good woman that sees flaws, but she looks past those flaws and tries to help you either fix those flaws or, better yourself so that they are not such big flaws or a flaw at all. That you put your focus elsewhere. Like I'm pretty much the support role. I think a good woman is a big support system. Like that's kind of like my biggest attribute, like a supporting woman. That shit all is like in the same boat. And just because she supports, that means you have to eventually give that same support back, because you're supposed to give what you're taking. Like if I can take support from you and all of that, then I should be able to give you support as well, because there's going to come a time where that woman is going to need my support, and I want to be there for her just like she's there for me. So a supporting woman playing a supporting role, and I would say that's my biggest attribute in a woman, is with a supporting woman.
I like that.
Or Maya desire.
How do you realize that you got a good man, and what attributes do that man have to make him a good man? Or woman, whatever you prefer. I don't know. I'm just assuming.
Gotcha. Well, I date cats, so my cat should be. Men, I think for me, consistency, right? It's 2020. The dating game has completely changed. A lot of men feel like they have options, right? Which they do. I feel like, but if you decide to commit to something, you should be honest and consistent with it. So for me, there's compromise, consistency, commitment. The three things that I feel give you a solid relationship. And for me, that's when I know that I have a good man, because consistency means that he's committing to invest his time and his effort. And compromise means that he understands that I'm not perfect. And there are going to be some things that we're going to have to work through. So that leads to compromise.
Okay. King, when do you realize you got yourself a good woman, and what are some good attributes that she has to have?
Pass.
This motherfucker said pass. Nigga, this is not Jenga or Uno or no bullshit. This is not a reverse back.
Ain't no way.
Nigga, draw four.
No. I say this because, to me, I do not have enough experience to answer that question for y'all. I don't.
Oh my God.
D'Angelo, you understand. You get it.
Nigga, it ain't about what he get, man. We all gotta know. You don't know what a good woman, you don't know when you have a good woman.
I can imagine when I do, but at the end of the day, some of them really don't turn out to be good. So
how about
I
this?
don't have enough experience to really answer this question for you.
Okay, do you have enough experience to tell us what makes a good woman? How do you know when you have a good woman?
I don't have enough experience to answer that question for you, bro. I don't. I don't.
All right. I mean, I just know if I want
I can imagine it, but
shouldn't it be the opposite of what you've experienced though? Like, so shouldn't you have
that's why I said he should at least know what an attribute is of a good woman.
Right. What do you want? Not what have you had. What do you want in a woman that you want to be in a relationship with that would make her a good woman? You don't have to have experience. Based on your experience of it being bad, right? You know what you want. Are you actively dating? Are you seeking to be in a relationship? Because that question is an important question to know before you go into the dating world. I know exactly what I'm looking for and exactly what I want now so I can go date. So if you don't want a woman who doesn't work, then you know that a good woman to you means that a woman who has a job.
I'm so glad somebody else is on here because I could not say that easy. I was like, nigga, what do you want?
Yeah, she got a point. I would say, see, now you got me thinking. I would say the most important thing is, well, some of the good attributes or good things is a keen understanding and a keen and acceptance. Like, we all not perfect. We all have flaws. We all are kind of different. To be able to come into really be serious about who you want to date, come into the life and see if you can accept that person without trying to change them is a big thing. See if you can enjoy life with this person. Because a lot of people want to come in and want to try to change you or do something different, or not really knowing who you are or trying to even know who you are. So that's what I'm saying. Acceptance is key. Communication. And that's big because I believe we all have fucking communication flaws. But trying to be able to really talk, and not just to talk to respond, but to talk to actually comprehend and understand what that person is saying. Really, communication is one of almost the biggest things, because no matter how you feel or what's going on, y'all have to be able to communicate effectively back and forth, be able to talk and understand where each other is coming from, even if y'all do view the situation totally different. What else? Being able to actually handle your own insecurities. Do not let pride, insecurities, or anything you're feeling that you're having affect your relationship or being projected on that person. What else? I can list a whole rack of shit. Y'all want me to keep going?
Well, I'm glad that you figured it out. Somebody dropped the applause track right now.
Hey! That shit like pulling teeth, but goddamn it, we got it.
Maybe some tired. I don't know.
What's next? Rated. Get us another.
Do you guys feel that women, as they get older, that they settle for the men that they didn't settle for when they were younger? So say, regardless if they was in their teens, 20s, 30s, whatever it is, the guys that they probably never would have gave a chance to, the ones they always overlooking, do you feel like when they get older, do they start to just settle for those guys at some point eventually?
Let me answer that because I want to get this shit out of the way. Now, yes, I do feel that they settle. And why? Because like you said, how you had to explain to your friend that it's not a time-based thing, it's an action thing. Women are time. Women like shit on time. Women are timely. So when they feel they're getting too old, for this dating shit and they want to settle down and live the life that they've always dreamed, if they don't already have that guy, they will rush that shit. I feel they will. Not saying they will pick the wrong one, but their goddamn the shit that they need to qualify, that shit comes a little lower the older they get. Because they like shit. Women feel like they run out of time a lot faster than what men do. Shit, I know men wait till they about 80 to get married. Mm-hmm. Women got a set motherfucking time. Hey, I'm 34 and I want to be married by 35. That shit don't matter to us men. But women are always on time. So yeah, I think they settle for shit that they set. I think they settle the older they get for shit that they wouldn't settle for when they were young.
I get that. And I'm going to agree with that. I do feel like, but I feel like that's how older people are. I won't even just say women. The question was about women, which I do think is true. I just think older people have that mindset. I feel like a lot of their living and experiences, if they've been through it, their kids are probably old and legit. They ain't got to worry about them no more. Like, they really just want companionship. They really just want to have somebody to settle down with. And if it just so happens to be the motherfucker who they said no to fucking 20 years ago, then so be it. Or the type of man that they said no to 20 years ago, so be it. Because they know that the time is ticking and they just want some happiness. They want to feel good. So I do feel like there's definitely a settle the older you get, especially if you're really passionate about finding somebody, for sure.
Yeah.
Amalia Desire.
She be sitting there like she got her gun cocked and loaded, like she just ready.
I was just waiting. Some women do settle, and then some women come up with a plan B. And I would be some of the women with a plan B, right? I am single. And I think that yes, you guys are lucky, right? The trigger is loaded with bullets and you guys can go out there and have you a baby at 45, 47, okay? I don't have 45, 47 Janet Jackson money, right? I am doing well for myself, but in vitro, getting a sperm donor, all that other stuff like that is expensive. I am A-okay with not being in a relationship and co-parenting with one of my best friends who's been around since 1998. And it is 2020, so that friendship has long survived many things. So the idea that women settle, some do, yes. But I think sometimes men are selfish when it comes to being in a relationship and thinking that we have the time that you have and we don't, right? I think that when you date a woman who's older, expect her to have her shit together. If she wants kids, expect her to want kids. If she wants marriage, expect her to want marriage. There's a conversation that you can have up front. I'm not afraid to tell a man that I want to have children and that ideally I would like to be married. I'm not saying that because I want him to give me babies or I want to marry him. I'm just making my intentions the fuck clear because I don't have time to waste, right? You guys do not have a clock. We do. I don't know if you guys are unaware, but Black women are very high risk when it comes to having babies at an older age. We go into hospitals, doctors do not listen to us, you know what I mean? So you're talking about having a child older and then also having to deal with doctors who don't listen to you when you say, I don't feel well. The rate of deaths in regards to Black women who die while giving birth or things that happen with the child in a hospital, that's things to be considered. I'm not saying that that's a main consideration, but it's something to be considered. So the settling part, maybe the guy isn't all of the 100% of what she wanted. Maybe he's 90%, maybe he's 80%, maybe he's 75%. But the settling is a little different. It's not like completely settling for garbage. I would never. I cannot speak for other women. I'm speaking for myself. I would never settle for somebody who I deemed that was not compatible with me, because that just wouldn't make sense. Now, I'm probably more afraid of not ever having a child than I am of not ever being married. Like I said, me and my best friend have a pretty great relationship. God forbid that marriage does not happen, or I do not get into a committed relationship before I hit 47, Jesus Christ, somewhere up in there, right? I'll have a baby with my best friend.
King.
Hello? Yeah, sir.
Okay,
nigga, this is not a telephone.
No, because the joint went like blank when I put the fucking microphone down. Now he's saying this. As you get older, majority people, men, women, people tend to settle like a motherfucker. I mean, look, because either they getting older, like she almost made a great point. Getting older, her biological clock is ticking. People want to be able to experience life or do things. So some people settle. I mean, some people have the great opportunity of not settling. I would say it's probably a very, very large percent who do settle, and maybe a small percent who don't. Hey, if you got that type of options, you got options, whatever.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, y'all know what y'all don't like. Now that y'all are a little older, what do you think would be the first thing on your list that you would settle for if this woman had everything else but that one thing? And for you, Amaya, if this guy had everything else but he was one thing that you will have to settle for on your list, what do you think that will be?
I'm gonna go with maybe height, or listen, I'm not picky, and I'm not saying that to say that I settle for shit, but the things that are important for me don't fall high on other people's lists. So the guys that I date, I'm dating, the vibe is just right. You know what I mean? Like, we just click. You know me. I've been the same person since you met me. You know what I'm saying? So for me, he don't have to make 6 figures, right? But he needs to at least meet me where I'm at or have aspirations. Here's my thing. I will never date a guy who doesn't have goals, who doesn't have aspirations. You could be working at Target, but you could tell me, I wrote a whole ass business plan. 3 years from now, I'm on my own music studio. I will rock with you, right? Because you have a plan, you have a goal, and I see you making effort. I can't rock with somebody who's complacent where they are, because complacency is not something that I want to teach my kids, right? Now, I get that people get comfortable. If you're making 6 figures, listen, live your best life. You know, you're making 7 figures and you feel like, all right, I'm cool where I'm at. I get it. That's a different kind of complacency, but you also had to work to get where you are. I'm talking about us. I ain't talking about them other people, because them other people get a 400-year start, right? But when it comes to us, if we put in the work and the effort, I'm cool with that. There's certain things I just don't look at. As long as I'm attracted to you, right? I'll look at you and I want to kiss you. All right, cool. Like, let's see where the rest of that goes. I'm not like, oh, he got to be 6, 7, 6 figures, CEO. Like, I mean, listen, I like artsy kind of guys. So the broke artists, right? What they call them? Shit, I forgot what they call them. But yeah, something similar to like a broke artist, right? Most people who are in the creative field, we don't make as much money when we're just starting out. The idea that he has a dream and something that he's passionate about, all right, let's rock with it. But I mean, settling looks different for everybody. Like, for some people, me deciding to co-parent with my best friend looks like settling. But again, I would rather be a mom and not be a wife, right? Because a wife thing can come at any time. I can get married at fucking 65, right? But I can't have a baby at no 65. That I'm not doing. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't put that much pressure on somebody. I vibe with people. I feel their energy. I figure out how they treat me, how they love me, how they talk to me, you know, how they support me. Things like that have always mattered to me. So while I look at the material things, you can lose that in a like that, right? We are currently in COVID-19. People lost them jobs. Some people lost their jobs. They could have been making guap, but now they don't have that job. Then am I going to define a man because now all of a sudden he's broke? Oh, I can't be with you, or because maybe his car got repossessed. Whatever the case is, life is happening to a lot of people around the world, and it really shows you what's important and what matters to you versus the things that you're willing to just say, like, yeah, he's cute, but he's not a millionaire. But are you a millionaire? Right? I'm not looking for a paycheck. I'm good. I can hold my own. I've been holding my own for a little while now, like I said. So the idea that I want a man to come into my life and add to what I'm already given, I'm bomb as shit. And I'm not even speaking from like an ego type of, conceited type of space. And you know me, so you know that ain't my shit. But I'm saying that as somebody who's confident in what I can bring to the table and what I can offer a man, not just the materialistic thing, but I will support his dreams 110%. So all that other stuff just seems minor to me. The things that I think that are important just don't look like everybody else's.
Have y'all? I think this right here, I think this might be something. Or could be something.
Could be.
But
no, nothing. Oh, okay. All right.
What the hell?
Brady, we on the same page.
Man, we on the same page, my guy.
Okay. I mean, the love down there.
What the fuck y'all smoking? No. Back to the question. Now, what was the question then? If this, because I have no idea. Y'all having your own little girl moment. I was fucking with y'all. Now, actually the question you said.
If you had to settle, now that you're getting older, you had to settle for something that you would not settle for back in the day. What would you settle for?
No, I wouldn't. Because all my things that I've learned that I don't like, those were lessons learned. Well, no. So I would keep what I would not settle for would stay the same. No. Those were hard lessons. And then if I added it to that list of stuff I will not deal with. So I would not take that off the list. No.
Oh, man. Oh, shit. I'm going to have to say a married woman. Like, I don't want to, I've never.
Wait, what?
Like, I never really wanted to marry somebody that has already been married before.
Oh, okay. See, but I ain't on my list. So
the older I get, if marriage is something that you want to do, and if you just so happen to meet this woman, and yeah, she's been married before, but shit just didn't go well, I would not let that hinder me from her. The older I get, but like as of right now, like I don't feel like I'm that old where I could just be settling now for.
Bro, we almost 40. Stop it.
I still don't. But again, see that is that woman. That's that woman clock. I don't have an age limit where I get married.
I'm not talking about it like that, but I'm just saying, like, people, listen, we know folks in our high school class that have been married, had kids, divorced, XYZ, right? I'm not saying it like that. What I'm saying is, when you think about it, here's the thing. I feel like there are a handful of people who got married to their high school sweethearts, right? And that shit worked out. And then there's a handful of them where that shit didn't work out, and you grew. And even in marriages, when you get married at 20, you're not the same person you at 30. You're not the same person you at 40. You are constantly growing. So when you meet someone who got it wrong, and I was on a dating show, like last month, the very beginning of quarantine. And in my video to audition for this dating show, I said, I want to get with somebody who's just as tired of getting it wrong as I am, right? Somebody who's willing to put an effort. And I think when you meet somebody who has been married or has been in a relationship that didn't pan out, and they really are genuinely interested in a relationship, they walk way different than people who've been single for like 2-3 years and out here just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to test the waters a little bit. No. When you date it for real, that means coming out with your heart on your sleeve, you being vulnerable, you being open, transparent with these people, and you taking a real hard ass risk. It's not easy. It's not easy. So for what I'm saying is by like where 40 is, meaning there are gonna be people that you run into that have been married. One of my things used to be I wouldn't date a man with kids. I'm not opposed. I've dated men with kids. I didn't think that was my thing per se, right? But then I dated a guy with kids. I'm like, wow, he's a really good dad. Like that attribute and seeing him interact with his kids hits different. So there are certain things that we look at, and here's also the kicker. You know, if you're spiritual, whether you want to call them God, the universe, you know, Yahweh, all that other good stuff, it's not always about what you want. Right? It's sometimes you're gonna get what you need, and that's gonna come. It might come in a package that you're not particularly caring for, and something about that package came wrapped in a way that was meant for you. So you gotta be kind of just open to what might happen. You know, if you say this is what you want, a lot of times we pray for that. You know, we trying to manifest certain things, and we're like, man, I really want X, Y, Z, and then that shit show up, and you be like, God damn. Well, I mean, because you give me like a 90-day notice, I wasn't all the way ready. Like, I had to get some shit together, you know what I'm saying? So the idea that we really want something, you know, for me, I was very intentional about manifesting that this year, you know, and the year has been crazy, but I still been on a few virtual dates, and I'm cool with that, you know, getting to know somebody. This is the time where you can see if somebody likes you for who you are, not just about like getting in your drawers, you know, as a woman. And I think kind of a little bit vice versa for men, because you can't really spend money on a virtual date. So this woman has to like you for who you are, who you present, you know, and not just be all about like what you can spend on her. I don't know how often that really works out. You know, I had this conversation the other day. I cannot marry somebody. I will not marry somebody. I will not be in a relationship, cannot be in a relationship with somebody that I do not love and that I'm not in love with. And I know for a lot of people, marriage, relationships are business arrangements, they're deals, right? But I want to be passionate about the person that I look at when I roll over at night and be like, damn, like I got lucky. Not like, oh, I got 6 figures in my bank account. Yeah, like it's different. You know what I'm saying? If money is the objective, then you gonna move different anyway. But money was never the objective for me. I feel like a lot of people forgot what love and being in love looks like. We're a lusty ass generation, right? We are lusty as hell. Like, oh, you look good. Them gray sweatpants look amazing on him. Like, oh, she got on a jumper, a onesie. That ass looks fat. You know, like. But we've always been like that. We just way more like that now, where it's like personalities don't really matter, but the substance underneath of what a person can present you. Because I know a lot of fat asses who crazy as just saying.
So, right?
Man. Well, shit. We way past time, y'all. But god damn, this was very good conversation. Shit.
My bad, y'all. I mean to.
Oh no, look, we love it. We love it, man. We love to have somebody come on here and, you know what I'm saying, and use their voice for something. Because that's what we push that every episode actually. And people love watching, but a lot of people don't call in like that. But it always feels good to have somebody come in and be passionate about a topic and get their shit off. We love it. We love it.
And I've been seeing a lot of comments of people like, oh, girl, speak. Oh, she's speaking some real shit.
Oh, yeah,
so
they've been
shit,
loving
I don't
it.
know. You might need to come back on here.
Yo, the comments are mad late. They're so late.
Yeah, they later than a motherfucker.
Yeah,
we gonna be all for air, and this shit gonna be still rolling.
Still going on. Yeah, I don't know what it is tonight, but I don't know. We'll that should work itself out. But shit, we gonna wrap this up, man. Let's go ahead and give a good round of applause for our guests for coming in. You already know that. We appreciate you. Y'all already know. Follow everything, subscribe to everything, share everything. Give them your name and stuff again so they'll know how to reach you, because they've been feeling you today.
And your podcast, because she has a podcast herself, so y'all can go follow and tune into her podcast as well.
Yeah, so I am Amaya Desire on everything. So AMIYAHDEZIIRE. And you can catch me on Cocktail Confessions, which is my podcast, on Thursdays at 7, usually relationship topics. So yeah, and also you can cop the book Midnight Confessions on Amazon.
Hey.
Love it. Y'all make sure y'all do that. Show us some love. I hope everybody had a good Juneteenth. It's been a lot going on, but I've been loving the energy for the most part. Shout out to my guys. I appreciate y'all, man. Everything's good today. Shit. If anybody else had anything else to say or plug, you can bring us out.
From this Black woman to all the Black men who are watching, and to the 3 who are here right now, I love you and thank you for all that you do. And
thank you.
Appreciate it.
We love you too. That was King's job. I don't know why he's slipping on the. Oh, okay, but
James, sleepy than a motherfucker. Go to bed.
Right, he look like he's tired.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else all hyped up, and here's the king. Anyway, man, y'all go ahead, man. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all be cool. Y'all be safe. Don't put your hands where you won't put your face. And remember, put the guns down, pick the gloves up. And we out this thing.
Hey.